Hello. So this is my new Triumph 400 Speed. Some motorcycles are just so beautiful that you cannot resist buying it. This is one such motorcycle available in the market currently, which looks so beautiful. And it's not just beautiful. There are a lot of many reasons which made me let buy this bike. So the price of around 2.3 lakhs ex-showroom, it was a steal deal for me, considering the way I look at motorcycles and the way I have a taste in motorcycles. So this was one such motorcycle which fulfilled my all the expectation from a motorcycle. So be it the handling of this bike, the look of this bike, the braking, the performance, whatever you ask, this performs well. It has got 13.5 liter of tank, which gives you mileage around 300 kilometer. So recently I traveled Ooty, so in which I traveled around 290 kilometers, and I didn't have to refill much. Just one full tank made it complete my journey towards the Ooty from Bangalore. So mileage check, so in the city it gives me around 24, 25 or even 22 mileage, which is fairly acceptable considering the performance it gives you. So there are few bikes which always keeps you happy, and few bikes you just want that it should go fast, it should perform the way it should, the way you like, the way you want it to do it. So it just makes your ride so beautiful, the commute so easy in the traffic. You cannot resist buying it. If you have a test ride, if you have a good taste in motorcycles, there is no further looking away than the Triumph Speed. By profession, I am a designer, very close to designing field. So even from a designing perspective, so you can see the attention to detail given to this motorcycle is perfect. So you can see the bolts, the welds, the finish, the way every detailing has been done in the motorcycle. It just reminds of you a typical Triumph motorcycle. So we as an Indian have a habit of expecting too much at too little price, but this has been done possible only by the Triumph so far. You buy any category of the motorcycle in this segment, you will expect some kind of cost cutting or something which you may not like, be it the paint finish or some of the other details will be missed. Considering how well the classic 350 is doing, but still it has some its own demerit, you can see. For example, in the classic I found a lot of technology, modern day technology missing. The traction control, the slip assist, it does not come, but in the Triumph you get it all. This bike comes with two kind of tires. One is Apollo Alpha H1 rated, and this one gets MRF steel brace. So I feel that Apollo Alpha is a little more off-road worthy, not so much, but still it can resist off-roads. But this tire is a very soft road oriented, like it is very soft. I have already had two punctures on this tire. So so if you can see closely, this is W rated tire. One such demerit with the all typical LED will be the headlights. It's not so good. The headlight is just okayish to ride within the city, but I will not recommend you without a proper set of aux light on the highways. Another one will be the instrument console, already the feedbacks coming from the riders community who owns Triumph 400 that the fuel gauge is not very consistent. It says weird numbers sometimes. The mileage is also not so accurate. Mileage which shows on the instrument console, although I have got used to it, but still it can have more accuracy in terms of the visibility to the rider. One of the key demerits of this motorcycle, what I noticed is, for some it may be demerit, for some it may not. The rear is little bouncy on the longer humps, what you say. So it tends to bounce a little too much for my liking. So what I did was I have made it to the 4th setting of the preload. The bike usually comes with a 0 setting of the preload from the factory, so which is not so good. So I made it 4. So far the performance has slightly improved, but not so much. So but still it's not so bad either. But yeah, this is one point I wanted to highlight it. So Triumph can work on it to improve a little bit more better damping on the longer bouncy surface, especially for the rear. The front one is absolute cracker. There is no issue with the front and it's perfectly sorted. Few of the people online showed a lot of concern about the engine. Has the engine been borrowed from the Dominar? My answer is no, because this is 398cc engine and the Dominar comes with 373cc engine. Although both are manufactured by Bajaj India, but this is completely a different story for the Triumph. So the Triumph gets a reverse setup of the transmission. So what you see here is the chain comes this side and this setup comes the other side, and even the suspension and everything comes the other side, so which is offset. So I will not consider it as just a simple modification done at a Bajaj factory to just invert something in the Dominar engine and increase the bore size to increase the capacity, but it's more of a complete new engine. The Triumph says it's a TR series engine. I hope it lives up to the Triumph's expectation and the Triumph's pedigree of creating brilliant engines. They are master of the triple and the twins. Let's see how well they have made it. First time they have attempted it single cylinder in the modern days, if I know. So far the engine has shown no kind of leakage or any kind of issues to me. There are few reports online which I believe it's one of the few cases, but for me the engine is perfectly sorted. Once you go to the highways, it's equally good like a city bike. So on the highways it feels so stable and it remains so smooth that you don't need to see the speedo that taking so much of speed and you're still traveling around 110, 120, and it goes so well. Equally in the city, you just move a slight of the throttle and you just fly away from the traffic. So for me it was the engine was never an issue. Yes, the throttle response is very sharp, although there are few settings done by the local dealership with the recall of some software issue, but I think it has not solved that much of the sharpness in the throttle. But still, once you get used to it, you will understand the character of the throttle response, which will let you slowly get accommodated to the type of behavior of this engine. It comes with both front and brake disc setup as it should be in the 400cc segment, and the braking is equally good. It's very sharp, very accurate, and it gives appropriate feedback. So once you just you can use one finger to just squeeze the brake and it just stops you. It also gets a slip assist clutch and the traction control too. The traction control is switchable while the ABS is not. The ABS is switchable in the Scrambler 400X, but in speed you just have to, if you want to switch it off, you just have to remove the fuse which is lying under the seat. You can just remove it and switch it off, easy peasy. But I will recommend not to switch it off because it's more of a street oriented bike, and you can do fair amount of mild off-roads because it packs a punch, good amount of low down punch, so you can get into off-road and you can quickly climb on those off-road blocks. Let me show you a closer walk around of the bike. Instrument console has all the basic information what you need. There is no sort of Bluetooth connectivity or any fancy stuff you want from the motorcycle. Whatever is there, it works. Already highlighted that there is a problem with the fuel indicator, which is not so accurate. Good thing is you get all the controls on your thumb, which is this one. So if you just click on this, it can change the values. Okay, it has got hazard switch too. Even if you switch off the engine, take out the plug, the hazard will still work. This is that of a typical Triumph or the modern day super bikes which get this feature. The keys in my hand, it just lets other know that you have parked the bike and you are still somewhere around. So total I have done 4,172 kilometers. The first service is done and the next service is due on 10,000 kilometer or 1 year, whichever is earlier. But the Triumph also recommends that you should do an intermediate service, just a checkup in between to keep the bike health being monitored. So how good the bike is performing, or if there is an issue, they can solve it with their knowledge or with the latest update what they get. So if you have any question, do let me know in the comment box. I'll try to give my honest feedback. That's all from my review. So this is a beautiful place near to Bangalore. This is very less crowded, or you can say there is hardly anyone coming near to this place. I found it perfect to do such bike reviews. So enjoy my GoPro video, the bike, and do hit a thumbs up if you like the video, and do subscribe. Thank you.